general business, we have a continuation of a public hearing at 6:30, which is 1515 Main Street. But before that, we'll try to get through a few of the work session items, as many as we can, and then we'll adjourn to the public hearing. And after that, we'll return to the work session. So the first item on the agenda tonight is to approve the June 13th, 2024 draft minutes. I know, Cindy, you've gotten comments from a few people.
Draft that you have is the final.
Right. And I know you got comments from Barbara and myself, and I don't know, to read, or you want to through?
No, we can keep moving. Have faith in you guys.
Try and get a microphone maybe to you. Okay. They're taped under the table too, so the stretchability.
All right, we got problems with one of the mics, so we're going to use another mic for the time being, but I'm sure the other one will be back in a second. Okay, so we can go ahead and, okay. May I have a motion to approve the draft minutes of the June 13th meeting?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Approved, 3-0. The next planning board meeting was tentatively scheduled for August because we don't typically have a meeting in August. It's an off month. We resume in September, which I believe is September 12th this year, on a Thursday night. In discussion with staff, I don't think we have anything that's critical that we need to have an August meeting, so we're going to schedule the next meeting for September 12th. So that notice will be sent out, or it'll be on the website within a couple days, right?
Yes, if there's any public hearings to be scheduled, then it'll be noticed a little bit earlier. But if it's a regular work session, it will be noticed about 2 weeks before.
Okay, at least 2 weeks before
But
that
I can
meeting.
notice now that there won't be any August meetings.
Yeah, that's probably a good
Away.
thing. And
Yes.
just say agenda to follow, or,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. All right, so let's get right into the first item on the work session, which is 224 East Main Street. We've already discussed this at a previous meeting. This is the Performing Arts Studio on East Main Street. So we need to get a update on what has occurred since our last meeting. And in general, the main item, I guess, was the development of floor plans of the second floor in particular. Is that correct, Deirdre?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Well, the floor that's on East Main Street. So the first floor of East Main Street, but the second floor of
okay.
Traders Cove.
Okay.
So speaking with the expediter, there was a little bit of back and forth with the tenant and the owner on who would fund the plans and who would get them done. We just got alerted recently that it's finally going to be done, I believe, by the tenant. He's going to get the floor plans done. So this application's currently closed. They'll probably, I would assume we would recommend asking for them to ask for an extension.
Yeah,
because they
we
have
should.
the 62-day clock and it's already halfway through that.
Right.
But we haven't heard any updates past that.
Okay. And I think we had talked, or were thinking, the extension probably should go through, at least through October, right? Just to give enough time to
Correct.
revise the plan and get us to review it.
Right, so the
and,
earliest we would review it would be September, and then
Right.
I don't know if there's any comments or anything
Right.
else that would need to be addressed at that point, so I don't see it being even resolved fully in September.
Yeah.
So it probably will go till October at least.
Right. Probably should make it past the date of the meeting too, maybe the end of the month or something, which is Halloween, but.
Yeah.
Okay, and they have a new architect on board, right, to
I believe they just hired one.
just hire an
Correct.
architect to draft the floor plan, so that's progress. So, we should be seeing that in September. Okay, next item is 116 West Broadway, which we've already talked about. It's the West Ferry office, the building that, if anyone drives by the waterfront, they'll see it across from Cigars Restaurant. Nearly looks complete, at least the exterior. And it was primarily a discussion about a generator at the northeast corner of the property in the rear parking lot in the corner. And the equipment on the west side of the property, 4 heat pumps and 1 condenser. So we're getting an update today, I guess, and also some ARC comments. We'll talk about those, right?
Yes, the ARC submitted their comments, requesting that the enclosure around the dumpster reflects the same siding that's along the building to try to keep some cohesiveness. They're pretty minor comments, and a lot of it's just more aesthetics than anything actually structurally they would change. The representative isn't here, unfortunately. I recommended that there's a draft reso that notes the planning board would approve it on the condition that the ARC comments are reflected in the new design. But the representative isn't here to kind of confirm that that would be okay. So if we could revisit this maybe later, if he shows up after the public hearing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I guess this would be pushed back till we hear for more revised plans. We haven't
Yeah.
received it.
Say they were coming.
Yeah. The comments we did also just received this past Wednesday, so it was a quick
Right,
turnaround time
right.
to ask the representative to reflect them. But we just haven't heard anything positive or negative, so we don't know if that's a possibility they're willing to entertain or if it's something that they don't want to do at all, so.
Right, okay, so, yeah, we should wait, probably at least give them a chance. They were,
Yeah.
I got a call earlier from Cindy Care from EAB.
Mm.
She said Eric's on vacation, but she will be attending tonight.
okay, right.
So I hope she remembered that I told her it was here and not at Village.
And if I recall, the ARC comments on the, at least on the generator, I think they said, I may be confusing. I'm not going to say anything because I may confuse it with another memo because we got 3 sets of comments from them, so.
I have them up on the screen. Might be a little
Okay,
far for
I'll
you,
ask the
but-
question then. Were they the ones that said that the comments would maybe be less costly to implement?
I don't believe so. I don't think that was for this one.
Wrong? Okay. It was one of the other 2 then. All right.
It does mention like less maintenance, depending on the material, but I don't
Okay.
know if it was.
Well, less maintenance is always a good thing.
Most of the comments were they just want the enclosure to be generated to reflect the building.
Right, right,
That's a
to
good
make it
comment.
consistent with the
Yeah.
building, yeah.
Yeah.
Seems, but we need concurrence from them, and that'll
Right.
go along with that. Okay,
I don't know.
okay, so we'll revisit that one a little later, or at least we'll talk about it, whether or not they're here.
I just don't know if they would come and say that there's cost. I don't know if they would, come and say that there's like a cost issue, maybe that's why they can't do this siding, or this stucco block, that's where I don't wanna state.
It's gonna, the cost difference is gonna be negligible, it's such
I
a
wouldn't
small
think so,
area.
but.
My concern is, are they on a timetable? Are we putting a wrinkle in their timetable by pushing?
Well, you can make it a condition of the approval if they wanna not meet that condition.
Possibly later. Give me a chance to show up, then we can have the discussion. Then we'll,
Table it till
yeah,
later on?
yeah, temporarily table it right to the end. Good?
Chairman may want to discuss the first item on the agenda,
The work session, since
the work session item, the applicant's
Yes.
representatives are here.
Which one's that?
We kind of already went through.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
24.
We'll go back. Talk about that. Now, we're back to 224 East Main, the Performing Arts Studio. Okay? Hi, Amy.
Can you just pull the mic to you? Thank you. Hello.
I believe what we had said, or what we knew, was that there was an architect hired, I guess?
Yes.
And the floor plans will be revised.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the main request or outstanding item on this, so we're waiting for those and then we'll review them. But we need to give an extension to, probably till October,
Okay,
just to enable us to discuss, assuming the floor plans come in before September, because we're not going to meet in August.
okay,
We typically take August off. So that would give us an opportunity to discuss it September and then maybe ascertain that final comments have been made in October. So maybe till the end of October or something. If you can get the applicant to request an extension to the end of October, that would be good.
yeah, that's fine, we'll request that. And I did speak to the architect yesterday. The tenant ended up hiring an architect. There was some back and forth on who was taking financial responsibility for it, but they worked it out. So it's been ordered, and she wanted some clarification yesterday, which I provided to the best of my ability. So we will submit the plans as soon as they're ready, and then, of course, wait for comment from Deirdre and Tom if they are adequate enough and if anything should be added. So hopefully we'll have those by the end of the month.
Okay.
But yeah, so October would be fine, and I will request that extension.
Yeah, I think we need something in writing normally for the file, just to, keep that going.
Okay.
But that's, that should cover that. I don't think there was anything else in there, right, Deirdre?
Nope, that was it.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome. All right. I'm gonna skip back to, get time, we should be able to talk about Sagar,
Oh, see.
111 West Broadway.
Yeah, you're right.
So we did receive the photometric plan with very minimal light bleeding out past the dining area that's over there. So that satisfies that request on that.
And the lighting, the outdoor lighting they were putting up was gonna match the physical view, the physical poles were gonna match what's across the harbor
They
or
did
Mill Creek.
sconces across the building facade that were shining down
Oh, okay.
onto the surface.
Yeah.
However, we got this afternoon, I would right? We
Yeah,
received them,
this afternoon.
ARC comments. They're not minor.
Okay.
They're also not. They're not saying you have to do it, but we would like to see if you can do these things. So they were looking to make some changes to that facade, and I think they're good ideas, but they want them to relocate kitchen exhaust. So that could be a costly item. So I think there needs to be a dialogue back and forth between the ARC and the applicant to see what they're willing to do and what cost implications they may be. They may need to translate that back to the ARC and say, we can't do this. It's too much money for what we're doing right now. And I think the ARC would be okay with that. But I think my recommendation to the planning board would be to request that the ARC meet directly with the applicant to go back and forth through the ideas that they want. There's some lighting things, like you said, the pole. I don't know if the pole's a good idea, to be honest with you. I like more the down lighting, that lights the surface rather than shining out across the water in people's eyes. There could be some of that light bleeding also into the waterways and things like that, which I don't think would be a great idea. But, a lot of restaurants now are doing those. I don't know if you've seen those low voltage lights, they string. Might be, it's ambient lighting. That might be nice. We'll call it over there. It'd be certainly an enhancement and make it glow like a little jewel box, which would be okay. But again, these are all ARC comments, and I think that needs to have that dialogue back and forth between them. So that would be my recommendation for them to speak to each other and then come to a conclusion of what they're going to accept and what they're willing to do.
That sounds like the best thing for them to get together, because the ARC, I think, is open to compromise. I think we saw that on Conifer too, right?
Yeah, no, they're
The,
definitely open to compromise, and as they are a committee, and they're not a board.
Right.
So it's ultimately you guys, whatever recommendations that come across, you either approve or not approve what you see there. And I think, again, that dialogue back and forth with them, with the information given back to you, and what cost implications versus the aesthetic benefit will be addressed, and then we can make an educated decision on that.
Okay.
And
Any
was
questions?
ARC's recommendation with those Edison lights?
They did kind of, indicate they may want to look at it. They didn't say they had to do it, so it was a lot of suggestive type of things in there. There were a couple of protrusions. It's in the report. There were a couple of protrusions, shed protrusions on the side of the building. This will put the